Чуть не делается, сорян.
So we are finally all back. I don't remember where we were exactly.
Does anyone have a question?
Okay, while everyone's silent, I'll ask the questions people tend to ask me recently. First one was, can somebody give a card to another player without playing it? Just like, here's my fan card, take it.
Yes, but you still have to sign the card.
So
which means that if there's any space on it for your character's name, there's only 3 spaces. That means you got to sign your name, which means that you're, responsible in a way.
So the question was, can you give it without signing?
No, you have to. As soon as you get a card, you must sign it immediately.
Okay. And the next question, at the very beginning of the game, wherein we will give players those cards, will those be signed as well?
Cards begin signed. The cards begin with no details on them at all. They're completely blank. The idea of this this type of LARP is that it's player created, that the players create possible. Literally anything can happen. What I've noticed too often with Nordic LARP and really any kind of LARP is that the creators of the LARP want to be novelists. They want to be movie directors. They want to be TV show runners. They want to be the creators. And so they can't help themselves. Sort of, create this amazing plot and create this amazing ending and create everything. And so that tends to make it not as fun for everyone else. Their characters are invented to kind of limit what they can do. Either that or there is no narrator, there is no storyteller, and everything's just so chaotic that nothing really matters because anything can happen, and it just sort of happens because certain people have certain friends who run things and their friends let them get away with it, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm trying to create something that has, you can't do anything you want. You can't just make it up. But with that, the players themselves are together creating a unique story.
I have a question about signing cards, and there's such situations that some group of people came to game not to play it but to win. Yes, this LARP format is different from just to win, because you said that earlier it's more interesting to lose. But will not is there some prevention system for such players so they will not spoil other games?
What kind of player? The ones who only care about winning?
It's like group of players who just came just to win, not caring about the game itself.
This game does, the design of it is that they all have to be in the same room with each other. The way this game works is that those players not only all have to be in the same room with each other, fighting each other, go out and convince other players to help them because they need other players. It's not like in most games, players who want to win at all costs just sort of, ignore everyone else and treat them like shit. The setup is they need everyone else to support them with cards. So they actually have to talk to people and interact and win over people. They're just playing to win. The way they have to play to win makes them entertaining.
Okay, thank you.
And so by that way, I'm hoping we'll see, of course, this is an experiment. The thing is that they will be conditioned and the game rules into interacting with people in such a way that makes everyone have a good time. Is anyone there?
Yes, you just disappeared for a few seconds.
Next question.
Hello?
Hello, I have one question, if I could.
No, hit it. Go on.
Okay, I was not sure if anybody's hearing me now.
We can.
There we are.
Okay, so my question is, if you could come with any idea about the character, are you not afraid of, for example, very weird characters, or not weird, but just not good to the setting? For example, a hidden Sabbath member, Last Cappadocian, weird clan, or something like that, hiding as a normal clan. You know what I mean? Just if you could came with any idea for the character, if the character is yours, you could just maybe not cheat the system, but you know.
You can't cheat the system because the system is so simple. You get blood, fangs, and prestige cards. And that's the system. And then you get a prestige. And then you get disciplines, one discipline, and then you have your alliances. A weird clan, you should be a Kaitif. Have in them all the weird clans. Otherwise, you could say, oh yes, I'm a Ventru, but I'm actually secretly an Asimite. Yeah, sure, you can do that.
Okay, and that's fine for the story? That's okay for the story or not?
Totally.
Whatever you want.
Okay.
But please, don't do something to please yourself and to ruin it for everyone else.
That's obvious. I'm just curious about if that's okay. For example, if I myself came with the idea, okay, I'm the Ventru and the hidden Asimite, but if other players also will be thinking about I'm a hidden Asimite, so suddenly the life will be whole hidden Asimites. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But why not?
And here's the thing.
Why not?
As a character, please try to blow up everything. It's wonderful. But as a player,
no.
blow up everything. It's a subtle difference.
Yes.
But the goal of this is to have an evening to be predicted. The goal of this system is that we can set the same game up and then every time it will be completely different. That's the goal. So yes, do whatever you want. Your character is yours. Your Ventru alliances, your alliance with your fellow Ventru is real. Probably people you've known for a long time. So even if you've been a double agent for 100 years, secretly pretend to be a Ventru when you're an Asimite, you're still their friends. Ultimate loyalty is not with them, but you still have some connection.
Okay, that sounds good for me. That's okay.
Okay, great. And by the way, having these secrets about your character is awesome. This is what will make the evening really interesting.
Yeah, that's right.
Nosferatu, and you go to the Nosferatu and say, hey, by the way, my backstory is I'm secretly Nosferatu.
I think it's hard to be secretly Nosferatu.
Well, not. They have a discipline.
It's probably the most the clan which cannot be secretly anything.
Well, they believe you. I mean, you could just be so good at obfuscate that no one knows. 24. Methuselah level obfuscate.
What was the designer decision behind the quantity of cards for each generation level?
What I want to do is I want to make, of course, that the elders more cards, but in the sense that the elders had a secret, a dark secret that the other two could use against them. I'm gonna actually boost their number of cards they get. I was thinking about this today, and I think the elders actually should get more cards. They should get instead of 8 cards, they're gonna get 9 or 10.
And
I'm sorry.
have more cards than, for example,
So anyway, those exact rules are not quite done. The character is not complete until I finish my my work. You know.
I see. Thank you.
On the system, and obviously, once this playtest is done, I'll be changing it a lot. Right? You know, that's the problem with LARP, is that the reason no one's ever come up with a great LARP system is that it takes too much playtesting. It's really hard to set up. As hard as I can beforehand to make it a good, solid system. By the way, with your help, and please let me know if you have any ideas or thoughts on how to change it and make it better. But once we play, hopefully I'll get so many ideas that night that it'll become a even better system in the future. Of course, is to make, you know, this LARP system that you could basically play anytime, anywhere, anyone.
Mark, we had another question about cards. So if I get the card and my name on it is the third, I cannot pass it over. I have to play it, or what?
No, you can. Here's the thing: is that once a card has full, then people can trade it freely without worrying about their names going on it. Those cards are actually very valuable because they're already full up, and you can trade them freely.
Oh, about card. Can we steal a card?
If the other player's okay with it, sure. Not okay with it, then the narrator may have to get involved and say, "Oh, that wasn't cool." But you know, if you steal it in a cool, you know, I would say generally no.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's more like of agreement about with players.
In every way, it's the Nordic style LARP. You know, the players should agree.
Is it up to victim or not?
I would say in general, so anyone can say, no, I don't think that's cool. So that's usually the victim, right?
I would like to ask about backgrounds. I believe last time you said something about that we will have an empty space in our characters that we can fill. And what if some backgrounds will overlap or collide with each other. Like, for example, we'll have 10 princes of Kiev or something like that. 9 of them probably will be fake.
First of all,
with us.
princes of Kiev, and there certainly have been 10 princes of Kiev over the last 30 years. So you could all be princes of Kiev, yes, and working it out has to be what's the truth about, and that's where your opposite comes in. If any opposite comes in and says, "Isn't it true?" then your opposite can make it true. Weren't you Prince? You were Prince from 1987 to 1994 in Kiev. And if that becomes, they agree with it, then that becomes fact. And everyone else has to shift their story around that. But isn't it true is basically the way in which things become fact. Until then, all about human, vampires as an expression of human beings and how we create truth, and none of us know the truth. Have you seen Rashomon? Yeah, the Japanese movie about truth. It's all about truth is subjective. One person thinks this, one person thinks that, and this game does not try to make a decision about it until you're opposite. And even then, it only counts to people who've heard the truth. It's not true for them yet, is it? The thing will work itself out. I'm thinking it will. It used to in the past. It just would work out somehow. People would just agree. People want to agree on truth. It's this amazing thing, and so I'm counting on that.
A question from Kiev. Guys here want to know how the disciplines are going to work. Will that be some markers or some words or whatever?
Is there any markers? What?
Like special word or signs that I'm using a discipline. Yeah, we'll have that.
What we're using is for disciplines, we're using the rule of really, really. So when anyone's using a discipline, you'll say, "I really, really want you to come with me right now." Using your discipline. You hear someone say "really, really," it means they're using their discipline. It's pretty simple.
Can Neo Knight use discipline on Elder? Because Elder probably should be much more powerful and resistant.
Question, actually. Yeah, maybe we'll give Elders the chance to use a card and ignore a discipline.
Okay, then what about physical disciplines like potence or celerity or protein? I really want that card from you, especially the protein. Gungrove here wants to know how that works.
Oh, so you're trying to steal cards from them, so you specifically use disciplines against them. The way the disciplines work, I think they're not going to be not so strong again and again. Most disciplines, in fact, are designed to be fairly weak, and not weak, but storytelling, I guess I should say. So let me find a good example.
Ventro. Pick Ventro. They have good ones.
one of the three Bruja disciplines is brutality. You can stop another player from leaving the room for 5 minutes. Really, I can't let you pass. Give him a player a fang card. You can have him at your mercy for 10 minutes, and they must do whatever you say. I must insist, no, I really insist that you come with me now.
Okay. And what about
But I think you have a good point there.
I want to know about gangrel here because I have a bunch of gangrels around me. They took me hostage.
So basically, you're saying an elder shouldn't have to be assaulted by this stuff all the time. I think I need to figure out a way in which someone else can come to your rescue. Obviously, would have a bodyguard or something, or someone who could come up and go, you know, you can't do that. Yeah, okay, I'm going to work on that. I don't have
a question which comes to this topic. What is the approximate number, probably, of Nainuts who want to kill the elder, which they don't like? What is approximate number of Nainut or Asylum which want to kill someone higher than them? So, for example, we have a group of 5 of Nainuts. Who can we kill, for example, at the end of the game? How much power we have to gather?
Can be killed at the end of the game. No one can be killed until the end of the game. But
I'm saying that at the end of the game we have to gather some number of funds. How much we have to gather more than someone higher of us in rank?
About rank, it's only about if they have more fangs than you, they don't get to be. You can't kill them. Fangs than someone else, and you can diablerize them. It's as simple as that. Once you do that, you're spending your fangs, and you can't go to someone else and diablerize them as well. One person and diablerize them. But remember, there's one clan that is automatically immune from being diablerized. The winning clan, they're allowed to leave early. Okay? Also, the prince or the tyrant, the anarch tyrant, can declare whatever they want. Really, you know, you need to have a ruler who allows diablerie, and then you need more than the person you're diablerizing. Diablerize them, you both lose all those fangs. So if they had 3 fangs, and you have 9 fangs, and you diablerize them, you lose 3 fangs, then you have 6 fangs left to diablerize other people.
Okay, understood. And question which comes from role-playing and how to play in LARP aggressive characters. So, like, all offense is banned, and for example, Bruja generally are very offensive. So, do you have any tips for playing offensive character?
An offense?
Yeah. So,
like aggressive.
Yes. For example, we cannot hit anyone on the game because it's like diplomatic game. But how can we be aggressive?
Well, you can
because in such situation it's looked like everyone can ignore Bruja because they know that they will not hit them. And it's for most Brujas, it's the only way to communicate, just to hit.
This is why I added the whole gamer aspect to the game. So you can threaten them. You can say, you will not leave this conclave alive. I will make sure, one way or another, that you will die. Now, I can't hurt you now, but you will lose. And I'll still find a way to kill you. So in that way, you can threaten someone and believe you. Because you can kill them. Now, as a player, about winning or losing, I can't help that. I cannot affect their minds. But I think most people don't want to go home with the idea that their character was diablerized. I'm thinking that most people do not, unless they want to be diablerized, think that, oh yeah, I had a good time, but my character was sucked of all his or her blood. Right? So I'm thinking that this is gonna make them respect the person with the fang cards.
Okay, I think it's became more clear.
Okay, let me ask you one more question. I think it would be next topic. I want to ask about officers. I think they look a little bit not balanced yet, because some of them are very interesting, like, I don't know, maybe sheriff or stuff like that, and some of them looks like absolutely unimportant. What do you think about?
Fair enough. Which ones look unimportant?
Okay, Moldavian officer looks really unimportant, and now venture officer looks really unimportant because they do nothing. According to the rules now, venture officer unimportant because we have chairman from the first conclave. And the Moldavian, it's something like, I don't know, just funny stuff. Doesn't help gain any cards. Because some of the officers really have such abilities. They can gain cards, and the cards is the main mechanic of the game. Clear what points are a little bit confused for me?
Yeah, I get it. I just added to, as you were speaking, I just added to Motley that is immune to all disciplines. Right?
Great. It's new and it's great and I like it.
And which other one was weak, do you think?
The venture one, if you give me a second, I will check how it called.
The Seneschal, advisor, yeah, that does seem weak. All right. Fix that as well.
Because we have a chairman from the first session of Conclave. And his ability...
I'll add the Seneschal has the power of, isn't it true, over every player in the game.
What power? Could you explain, please?
True that the opposites have. Isn't it true you were once a Sabbat? The Seneschal has the power.
So it's like ultimate opposite for everyone.
Game. So can say, isn't it true you were once a Sabbat? And just gives the player a card and boom. Suddenly. So the Seneschal is very powerful.
So it's like reality changing.
Cool.
Like if he have enough cards, he can make any reality he want to make.
Yeah, but the other person can still play a card to say no.
Okay. That's really interesting power.
One second. which card will allow player to say no, it's not true?
The same card back.
Okay. Okay then.
Just gives the seneschal, actually they play a different card back, or at least sign it. And I'm gonna. I haven't figured out yet why signing cards is so powerful. But for the trial, it's very important already. And you're not the main person against it. Well, first of all, whoever's names are on the most blood cards, right? But I'm gonna figure out more of this stuff. Disciplines require playing cards. So if you want to use your discipline in a big way, you've got to use a card. The disciplines are powered by cards. But I will in the next couple of days figure out big ways in which the cards are very important, not just at the ending, but during the flow of the game. It will be all about disciplines. To make a discipline work on someone.
Mark, please tell me, how often can I use my discipline?
They're unlimited use, but the way I'm going to limit them is you have to play cards. So you don't want to use it that often because you're going to use up your cards.
How much card then I will have?
You will have you will begin with 9 cards as an elder, 7 cards as an ancilla, and 6 cards as a neonate. An elder is that you have a dark secret that both a neonate and your lineage pack know about you. So you have this dark secret that 2 people know about you. So great.
Okay, and about Dark Secret. I didn't really get it. It's like negative effect for Elder, or it's more about just storyline?
No, it's meant to be a negative effect for the Elder and storyline.
So Elder generally don't want anything use his Dark Secret, or make him to use it, or have any effect with it.
Dark secret is that you don't want anyone else to learn about it. You want to keep it a secret at all costs.
I see. Thank you.
Any of us might have, we all have secrets. We've all done shitty things that we don't want our moms to know about, right? So imagine this is the secret that is a vampire version of I never ever want to have a conversation with my mother. I did this, right? That's what a dark secret is in the context of the game. I want to have that conversation.
So don't make your clan angry, because they can tell dark secret to others and trade it, right?
The idea, of course, is that your lineage pact people on your opposite will certainly trade this information around.
So I have
or you can make it an agreement that you won't. They'll agree to the pact, and you won't.
Okay, got it.
Reality, right? Sometimes people stand by their agreement. Sometimes they betray you. It's hard to tell when humans will do the right thing.
Okay, about the lineage, do all three vampires from the same lineage, like Elder, Ansela, and Neonate, have to be of the same clan?
No, they shouldn't be. Same clan. Actually, no. They can be. One of the versions is that it says under the Neonate, I think, is that that you are I'm looking it up. Whoa. Sorry. Under the Neonate, it says blood lineage. By blood, each of you is either child or sire of the other, with you the youngest. If the Neonate chooses that, yes, clearly you're the same clan. Either that or there's some weird story, right? Where you appear to be a Bruja, but your sire's a Venture. You can make sense of that somehow. You can make sense of anything, probably, to do it. So, but normally you'd only choose blood lineage if, yes, that all three of you were Venture or Bruja or whatever.
Do you have any objections, or do you encourage people to group up somehow long before the live, long before workshop, and come up with some stories and relationships and such?
You cannot do that with your opposite, no. But anything else, yes, go ahead. You can even form lineage packs before the game starts. That's okay. No. Clans, you cannot show anyone else your clan briefing. Are 100% private. Clan briefing is absolute, is the private thing. Fair enough?
You know, in such case, which you described right now, we have a mission. I think some of us are a little bit afraid of players who just want to win and nothing more. And in such situations, some play-to-win players just, I don't know, make some overpowerful coterie, just collect all cards they need, and will dictate their will to players who would game, I don't know, alone, or maybe will want to generate his character at the workshops. Is it clear what my theory is? And
yeah, I get what you're saying, and I understand. The way the system is designed, the way I've designed it is that those people will be in conflict with each other. And so they will be fighting each other for power. Just want to role play, they will seek you out and try to get your help. And to get your help, they will have to do what you want them to do, which is hopefully role play. I think in the long run, they will not overwhelm the game. That's the design that I'm hoping will work. That basically they will alone. They only have what 6, 7, or 9 cards. You can do very little with that many cards. You need allies. You need people. The way this game is structured is the people who are most aggressive on winning will fight each other. Everyone else gets to decide who wins. Because you don't care so much if you lose, win, or die, or whatever. You don't care that much. You just don't want them to ruin the game. So you'll have a great effect over them because you have the resources they desperately want, quote unquote, win. And so the whole concept of the game is that I'm giving the ultimate power to role play. They get to decide how the story works. Basically, the way the system works is that the less you care about whether your character wins or loses, the more power you have over the direction the story. And so I'm trying to design the game so it goes in that way. If I failed in any way in doing that, please tell me, and I will fix it. But that's my goal.
Okay, got it. Thank you a lot. And I think I will move further. I want to ask about workshops. How many time you think would we need for the workshops? Because according to the rule, we have a lot of work for at the workshops.
I think that I want to do them very, very quickly. What I've seen of Nordic LARPs is they spend far too much time listening to each other talk. Any patience for people talking outside of the game. We should talk in game, not out of game. So I plan to run the workshop very, very quickly. Schedule. I will have a clock. You now have 3 minutes to choose a clan leader. Your clan has no leader and you are fucked. 3 minutes starts now.
Actually, what will happen if clan doesn't have leader?
They'll have to do a leader next intermission. They can declare a leader. So they have a chance later. All they have to do is find a narrator, and they'll have a chance during the game to do it. But they'll begin the game at a disadvantage. So you know what? They're screwed. But we'll teach everyone in the workshop a very simple way to do things. And that is you vote by standing behind someone. Explained during the workshop is that the way you vote on anything, on any leader of any group, is you simply, as you're talking, you stand behind the person who you want to be the leader. After 3 minutes, there's more people standing behind one person than who are standing behind anyone else. Simple and effective way to demonstrate who you support. This will be a very fast and efficient way to pick a leader.
About the leader, one more question. Who can be leader? Like, generally it's some elder. But if, for example, clan have only one elder, does it make him automatically a leader?
What if the clan has elders who are too smart to be leader, woke up from torpor, or have been away for a long time? Choose as a leader a neonate as a sacrifice.
Okay, that's interesting.
Possible. These are vampires. These are not amateur politicians. These are master politicians. These are people who, the elders are not a very good reason. I think it's almost unlikely an elder would put themselves up as a primogen, coterie, or gang. That's highly unlikely in my sense of the setting.
Mm-hmm. There is just one little problem. The vampires are not amateur politics, but most of us are.
Yeah,
It's really crystallized.
Well, all I can say is you should read a book or two before you play the game.
No, you should not.
I I hear there's an Italian who wrote a very good book about politics, and there's a Chinese guy who wrote a very good book about war. And if you read both of those books, the Chinese guy and the Italian guy will
Very lucky
know
practice.
exactly what to do. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't remember their names at all, but there's a Chinese guy and there's an Italian guy, and just go on Google and read their quotes, and you'll have a strategy in mind.
Okay.
Okay, we have another question, which is not about leaders, but about gangs and coteries. We have actually had in mind a gang concept, and we have been working on it, but it isn't in the briefing. So could we bring our own gang?
Okay? Yeah, if you all choose independence, you can actually make your own gang.
Great. Okay, then that works because we are already a gang. Okay.
Yeah, just all of you choose independence, and just keep in mind that your enemy will be the independence of the other side.
Yeah, sounds reasonable.
Oh, and another question is whether the clan briefing can contradict the briefing of the Anarchs or Camarilla.
I want to say, but hold on 1 second, is that it's very, very important that everyone interact with people outside of their own friend group. The system is designed to make sure people interact with everyone. So it's okay you come in friends, but keep in mind that it's very important you interact with other people as well. Well, what was your question again? Sorry.
Oh yes, sure. Whether the briefing for a specific clan can contradict the briefing of a sect.
Can contradict? You mean?
Like conflicts between clan and sect briefings. Yes, it can. Yes, it will.
Conflicts, and there are. This game is designed to have conflicts. The whole idea is that you have to have. You are in conflict automatically by being part of this game.
And
you have conflict.
You have to decide your loyalties
between your divided loyalties. And the reason I believe in this is that by me working in war zones and dangerous places, people having divided loyalties. This is a common human thing. You must choose between your loyalty as a bodyguard to the president, to your uncle who got you the job, just fired, your family, which is under fire, you right now to go bring your gun and defend them, and which is hiding out in the mountains fighting against the president. That's 4 different loyalties that one human being has to decide between those loyalties. The idea of this game is that I want to have players have to face this conflict that I have seen with my own eyes. And it's horrifying and amazing. Really, I believe, expressed properly in movies or any novel I've read. How horrible! Actually, I have read novels that have done it, but not many movies and not many TV shows about how horrible it is to have to decide, have to pick between your different loyalties. And so this game is about that.
Okay, there is a question about clan officers, and for example, the keeper. Can he expel how many persons can he expel at once? Can he expel primogents? Can he expel other clan officers?
Okay, I will limit it. It will be not primogen and not officers. That's a very good point. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
And can he expel the characters that have more prestige than him?
Why not?
Just added in that officers cannot affect officers unless they have 5 or more, plus 5 or more prestige than they do. Yes.
Ooh. Okay, and the last part of this question is what about quantity of expelled vampires? For example, as we are looking at the current wording of the rule, keeper can expel any number of vampires, and by these means he can expel an entire clans.
Who can?
Even excluding a keeper.
Good name.
You mean by taking them all to jail on his own decision? What do you mean?
Yeah, I will fix this. I'm making a note and I will fix it. Great catch. Thank you.
Well, there are still other officers who can oppose him in some way, so...
I would like to ask about prestige. I remember that you use prestige to vote on meetings. Am I right?
Yes, that's your vote.
Okay, but you don't lose, or do you lose prestige that you play that time?
For votes, and that's mainly in a primogen meeting.
Okay, and in the prestige description there is a sentence that you use exactly prestige counts as votes, but does it count when you vote in, for example, for primogen outside the chamber?
I'm not sure yet how to work it out. I've been thinking that to make the prestige only count for primogen, keep everything other votes really simple and clean. You know, one person, one vote, that kind of thing. But primogen vote prestige. That's still up in the air. And if you have any ideas about it, please write me on Facebook.
Okay.
I'm really struggling with how to do that. So thanks a lot for making me have a sleepless night. Thank you.
What about the maximum length of jail time?
What about what?
When a person is put into the jail, for how long he can be held kept there?
It's up to the sheriff.
So a sheriff can expel a person from the game for 6 hours?
think we'll maybe give another officer rights to pull someone from the jail. Maybe the harpy.
What if they just forget about this person in jail?
Or maybe a spy master or a fool, like that was a joke, or the spy master could have some. Probably it would be better to buff some less impressive clan officers this way.
You want me to reduce the power of the officer?
No, I propose you to buff the power of less powerful officers, like Seneschal or not just Motley, I suppose. Jester, yeah, Motley.
The Motley. Yeah, the Motley I was thinking could pull people out of jail, but I just changed it so the harpy can pull one person out of jail once per session. And so that the keeper of Elysium puts people in jail, but the sheriff who gets into jail. So Elysium can bring someone, the sheriff goes, no, can't put them in jail. And so it takes two officers together to jail. And that's almost like the Napoleonic system with three judges, you know? Judges, but third judge, of course, would be the narrator. I could come in and go, you're ruining the story, you jackasses. But right now, everyone's out of jail, and stop ruining the story. Thank you.
But can we put the Justicar or Archon into jail?
Narrators, you could put them in jail, but they could walk out at any time.
Then maybe then maybe the time in jail should be shortened up to one act. I mean the maximum time of the jail.
There is no maximum time right now, but I can change that and say it's for one session.
Yes, that would be cool.
I'll put in the comments what I wrote.
Can we actually use any discipline to say no to keeper, so he cannot jail us?
No, but you can bribe the keeper or the sheriff. Right now, the sheriff can say to the keeper, no.
Okay.
You can't go to jail. I'm in charge of the jail. I like this guy. Screw you. You can put him in jail, but I'll release him immediately.
I mean, if you're the same sect as and have more prestige.
Way to get out. That's a good question, though. Right now, no. Here's the rule I just wrote, though. Only be there for one session, which is 1/5 of the game. They'll put you in again. They got to give you a card. And I should probably find a way to make it even because no one wants to spend their entire game in the jail. Of course, as the jail is just a corner of the carnal. So it's not like, the jail is this awful place. You're basically in the coolest place, and everyone can come talk to you. You just cannot go and be in the other two places. That's all. It'd be cool if someone won the game from jail. That was kind of my idea. It's the trade cards. Officers releasing someone from jail. That's not a bad idea. Note in. Actually, what if the Primogen can vote someone from jail? Constant back and forth, but in a way that's kind of fun, isn't it? Kind of creates a context. And hopefully what happens is people realize, oh, if we throw one of their guys in jail, they'll throw one of our guys in jail. And it's kind of stupid after a while. It's kind of a dumb thing to do. So hopefully people will figure it out for themselves what not to do. But you guys have had great comments on what I've fucked up on so far. So keep it up. I'm loving this. By the way, I posted a link doc, the working doc. Comments there. As well. But yeah, the elected positions is on page 28, briefing 28. Yeah, gotta figure this out. I don't want to make it too complicated though. My main goal is so that the people who are really interested, like you all who are here talking to me, the leaders of the conclave, but not that you won't necessarily win. Guide other people in understanding how it works and the ways in which the flow and the back and forth, and of course the unspoken rules of any game are the most important. And like one of the greatest unspoken rules of any game is don't flip over the table. Freak out. Don't get mad. Don't be mad at the winner. Don't be mad at the loser. Don't be a bad winner. Don't be a bad loser. There's all these unspoken rules of games, of course. And LARP is times 100. There's always unspoken rules. And so, I don't want to create rules for every little thing because then it gets way too complicated. But there should be this general rule that somehow, don't ruin the story for everyone else. But if I can't have a jail that's simple, I'm totally down with it. And excellent points. I'm not saying these are bad points. These are excellent points. Fool. Thanks a lot.
Do it fast. Right now. I mean, right now. Guys, please do not open the link.
I'm fired.
Yeah, you're fired.
Good. Okay, any more questions?
Don't know yet.
Damn it, how do we work this out with the jail? And the disciplines question is really hard as well. I think all the disciplines will have to require playing cards. But every discipline requires playing a card. So that means that the VIP people are going to have to be able to see the disciplines. Dimitri, we're going to have to let them see the disciplines. At some point in the next couple of days, and I rewrite the disciplines, I will share it with you all and hopefully get your feedback on how they work in context with the whole system. You know, the blood cards are worthless, or the prestige during the game. It doesn't really mean a whole lot, does it?
Do you know, Mark? If we have the situations where our blood cards are not very important, and we have disciplines, maybe is it a really good idea to make a blood card like some fuel for disciplines? And it sounds logical, I think, because it's a blood card and stuff like that. It will make blood cards much more important.
Yes, absolutely. And I think probably we'll make it so like 70% of the disciplines use blood cards, and maybe 20% use prestige, 10% use fangs.
You know, now prestige cards looks like overpower cards. They are really very important because you need them when you choose a primogen. You need them in each session, and also you need prestige cards when we choose a Terran or a prince. Already really important and really powerful, I think. But it's only my idea.
Probably make them less powerful then. I probably need to rebalance it. So winning conditions, yeah, you're right. They're pretty powerful.
A lot of prestige cards. I think I can win a role-playing game, but it sounds awful. My idea, maybe we should, maybe you should make other cards a little bit more important. It's the main idea.
I think what I'll do is I'll reduce the power of prestige, and I'll make it that prestige cards are only important for voting table by the primogen. When you vote, you simply count heads. Prestige doesn't matter. Simply count the people standing behind someone, and the person with the most people standing behind them wins. As easy as that. At the primogen table, that's where prestige counts. And maybe one more place. Very simple. I don't know. Thinking aloud.
I think I'll need a little bit time and you at first for solving this issue. But in case of feet, I have one more question. How many time do you think you will need for making a final version of rules? Because I think we would need some time for reading it, for everybody would need some time for reading it and understanding it. And I think we will need a final version of rules before the game, or when we would have a final version.
You will have a final version of rules.
Version.
I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. I cannot help. Back when I wrote Vampire, I was famous for coming into the office in the middle of the night, computer of the graphic department, and changing words while it was in PageMaker. I would still be changing rules after it was in layout without editing. Not let go. So, of course, in this case, I will try to get you close to final rules at least 4 days before the game. Rules will be when Dmitry prints them, put them up in posters and put them in the briefing sheets. And when you arrive, you will get your folder full of briefings and you will see the final rules. The game is designed to be a game which people can just pick up immediately. So in a way, this helps it become a proper playtest because it's meant to be a game that people with no preparation, be a game you could pull out, you know, if you're in a cabin for 3 days and you say, hey, I have a cool game, let's try this. And you open it up and you start playing. You know, it's meant to be something like that.
And
I understand you want to be prepared, but this is designed so that you don't need to be prepared.
And it's hard
Got
to
it. Thank
get
you.
strategy for winning the game before the game starts when you don't know the exact and final rules. So it will be changed quite often.
Exactly. And in fact, the perfect way this game would be played is that no one even sees those posters until after the workshop. So only after the workshop you suddenly go, oh, huh. And by the way, there's rules that Dmitry and I have not shared with you. There's a big surprise in the workshop that we're not telling you about. That's meant to be a big surprise. And there's other surprises as well that we're not sharing with you because they're designed to be surprises. Is that you don't know all the rules until it's important for you to know all the rules.
Okay, I have one more question about, well, not rules per se, but more about Larp's background. What I mean is, I understand that we will be coming up with ideas and making agreements about what is true about our characters, but will there be more background about that Zimisi threat or werewolves or anything outside the
Absolutely
area?
not. No.
Okay.
In fact, I'm thinking that even that much information we gave was a mistake. That really the idea of this LARP is that you guys create the story. So anyway, that's the maximum amount of information you will get. Anything else will be what you say. And so let's say one group of you come in and you have this whole backstory about Kiev trying to take over Lviv. Others come in and go, well, that's not true. You know what? Who knows what the truth is? Maybe they're both true and they just don't know about each other or whatever. You will have to work it out among you what is true. The isn't it true rule to get across your truth if it's that important to you, to get your rule across. But people can still ignore it. That this becomes a completely open storytelling experience where any reality can come across, and in the end, important that your truth win. Then make that your goal as a player, but please don't ruin someone else's game. Goal so important that it's more important than their fun. Make your truth your truth. Make your truth the game's truth. Just don't ruin anyone's fun. Great goal to me, though. are reading all the clans, aren't you? Damn it! I'm a fool. Please don't read the clans that aren't yours.
Yeah, that's what I was
What an
trying
idiot!
to.
Oh my god! They know our secrets, Dimitri! Stop them!
I really don't care. We'll
What?
rewrite
Where?
it
Where?
tomorrow.
What?
We'll rewrite it by the end of the today.
Clans! No!
But please check your messages which I'm sending to you. Yeah.
On
That
your
might help.
honor, folks. Your honor. Do not read any clan but your own. By the way, the disciplines are not done. Disciplines are completely wrong. Not done. Don't even read them. Don't look at them.
Okay.
I have one maybe last question. Will you make some similar game in Thabet thematics?
What? What?
For Sabbath.
Maybe, yeah, of course. I would love to have a version of this with Sabat. I, in fact, plan to use this game system with 7 Seas, Cthulhu, and I plan to port it out to a bunch of other tournaments. I'm thinking that this could be just a system, this rubric, with to basically run any instant LARP, you know? It's a new kind of LARP, basically. So, yeah, I want to apply it to everything. But really, if I keep doing it on Vampire, it depends on if I get a license. And I would love to get a license from White Wolf to do this, but it's entirely up to them. It's their choice. And I don't assume anything from anyone. Other questions?
There is one on chat.
Yes, if there's strip dancing going on though, I want to be there. As a boy, I have to tell you, I'm not into guys. I want to be there just to witness it. Anything weird or peculiar? I love that. I love that crap. The more bizarre, the better. In my book. Definitely meant to be the cool place. And if anyone has any ideas for how to make it even cooler, then we're making it. How to make it twice as cool. I'm all ears. I want to make that the coolest place in the conclave. I want to make it the place where everyone wants to go hang out. Definitely, that's where we're having the bar. Right, Dimitri? We're going to have a bar?
Yep.
No one gets drunk until after the game ends, but having a couple drinks is okay. Bye-bye. All right, I think I'm done. I've got to go call my dad. He's in the hospital, so.
Sure, bye.
Thanks for
talking. Please leave your comments in the doc. And really great questions. Really, truly appreciate your ideas. Wow. I feel horrible, but I also feel great.
Thank you for your time.
You too. Bye-bye, everyone.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye.